Hello, guys, and welcome to the Invent With Me podcast, where each week we guide aspiring inventors and product creators to turn their innovative ideas into reality. Learn valuable tips, insights, and success stories from people roughing it in the field of inventing so that you yourself can make your mark in the world. I'm your host, Grant, inventor of Torque Strap, a killer new spring-loaded cargo strap, a strap so easy to use, you just pull. And with me in the studio today, my new friend Chris, the inventor of the Happy Toilet Cleaner. Check this out. Turn your toilet into an automatic cleaning machine. This is so cool. And you actually sent me one. I got my hands on it, Chris. I love it. But I got to ask first, how did this come about? What was the aha moment?
We've been in plumbing for 40 years, me and my wife, and we sold in 2019. And about a year later or so, I come home after telling people not to use tablets in their toilets for that many years. I come home and she's got a box of tablets on her desk. And I said, well, what are you doing? And she says, well, either you can clean the toilets more often or you can fix them when they break. And she says, I'm going to use these. They work great. And I said, yeah, that isn't going to work. Not that I don't mind cleaning toilets. I just knew that I didn't really want to fix them. I was done with plumbing. So I came up with a prototype. And in fact, this isn't the exact one, a sample. I went out and just got a Tupperware bowl, drilled a hole in it, slipped it over the overflow tube and siliconed it. And that's how the first one came about. And about 12 prototypes later, we have the one like you have there behind you.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I love that story because us guys can all relate. Though you always tell the wife the right way to do things, and they're like, well, if you know so damn much about it, go ahead and do it. And then you kind of get painted into a corner and you got to fight your way out. And your method was to invent something better. I absolutely love that. So I learned in meeting you guys in the discovery call that these cleaning tablets are bad for the plumbing. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, they'll sit in there for a long time and using them over and over again, they'll corrode the rubber seals inside the tank. In fact, a major manufacturer of them settled out of court for millions of dollars a few years ago because of the damage they caused. They didn't actually do anything to change their tablets. They just put a warning in there or instructions to flush the toilet at least once a week. I think all that does is give them plausible deniability. But still, we have these problems all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I had no idea, and that makes sense. So basically, explain not the mechanics, but how this works to not damage your plumbing as opposed to sitting in the tank and eating away.
I did bring a few more visuals in case I needed to do that. Here's your basic flush valve with the overflow tube. There's so many out there. It's like buying car parts.
Yes.
An alternator isn't the same alternator for every car. So here's an example of one, though. It simply just fits over the flush tube, though, and then you put your tablet inside this holding area, and each time you flush, the tank flushes out and clears the bowl. But during the refill, the water is filled up through this overflow tube right there. And so the water goes in there, it picks up the solution first, and then it drops it down into the bowl. So all the cleaning solution you're paying for goes in the bowl and stays there instead of being flushed away when you leave them in the tank alone. And at the same time, it protects your parts in the tank.
That is so cool. That is why didn't anyone else think of this type of invention?
I know. I can't believe that I actually got a patent on it. I was very surprised, to tell you the truth.
I hear you on that one. I felt the same way in the beginning. The truth is, there's still a lot to be invented. I don't know how. When you're a small person sitting in your garage tinkering, it seems like you're up against this gargantuan mountain to climb. In reality, there's still a lot to be done in this world.
Yeah, I mean, in every aspect of the world, too, and everything needs something better.
Yeah.
And people are coming up with the solutions all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, I came up with one yesterday. I told my wife about it. She says, can you just concentrate on this one now for a while before you start something else? And I said, yes, but I need to write it down somewhere so I remember what it was.
Yes, write it down. That's what happens to us inventors. That's why this realm is so difficult because A, as inventors, we don't have much money. And B, we're scatterbrained. We're thinking of three things at the same time. To be successful in this realm, as you have learned, you have to sit down, buckle down, and focus on one thing for 3 to 5 years minimum. Otherwise, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, I'm in this about a year right now, and we've gone through a lot of bumps and bruises already, but we're continuing on because we are seeing success as well.
That's awesome.
Although not real big yet. Well, I'll put it this way. I haven't had one return because people didn't like it. I've only had them return because they didn't fit their toilet.
Yeah.
So I take that, as a real big success.
I do too. So let's talk about success later. Let's talk about how much it sucked in the beginning. So tell me so you make this prototype in your garage, kind of like I did. You just go out and you get whatever you can, you throw something together for $10 and it kind of works. And then what do?
That's what we did, and we kind of talked to our neighbors and friends about it and family, and I just made some more up and said, hey, try this, see what you think, if this would be something that you would use. And I got really good feedback from my neighbors. So after we actually had a friend of mine print them out in 3D, it's a different shape at that time, that's when we really knew we had something, because it would really work. It worked very similar to what we have now. No longer a tub that you slipped over. This was now where it had that tube that went inside of the overflow tube. And when we had family members and friends actually willing to pay for it, we said, wow, this could really be good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to give them away. It's another thing to have someone say, yeah, I'll pay for that.
Yeah, definitely. So you had a friend who is generous enough to kind of 3D design / engineer this for you. Is that what I'm understanding? Yeah,
we sat down. I went and visited him. It's actually a son of a really good friend of mine, but I went out and visited him in Minnesota. And in an afternoon, we had some ideas for 3Ds. And of course, I come home and he printed 3 or 4, shipped them to me. Then I would, come up with other ideas, or we were both kind of getting ideas, and then we shipped it back and forth. And after a while, we had a really good prototype, a working prototype.
Amazing.
In fact, it kind of looked, can I show you?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like our first prototype as compared to what we have now.
Yeah.
Our first 3D prototype.
Yeah.
So at first I was thinking I wanted to make it small and have it fit my own tablets or some way, right? But then I said, no, let's make it to where it fits every tablet on the market. And that's why we went to this a little bit larger and different shape.
Great.
And that worked out really good.
Good for you. All right. So you were kind of selling homemade, quote, units that were 3D printed. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how many would you say that you sold that were 3D printed?
Maybe 20 or 25. That's all.
Okay. So you got a good idea of the field, the market, what people are going to say, what it's going to fit, what it's not going to fit. Did you run into any big redesigns in selling it?
No, not during selling it. I didn't get my get the idea to go to a bigger size. Well, I wanted to go bigger, but then someone recommended a molder to me in Tucson. So I drove down there and I met with the engineer there, and he sat down on his computer and I told him what I kind of wanted. And he was brilliant. I mean, we had this thing figured out in about 30 minutes. And then we said, okay, well, he told me good advice. He said, go get this professionally 3D printed somewhere and then test this before you go into production. Ooh. So after about 2 or 3 more 3D print tests, that's when we decided to go to our first mold.
Okay. Now, back up, hit the brakes. You said you have a molder in Tucson, right?
Yes.
Does he operate pretty commercially, or is it more of like a, hey, bud, can you work on this project for me?
He mostly works commercially. They actually do a lot of molding for the mining industry here in Arizona, oddball parts and stuff, whatever the mining industry needs. But they had no problem helping me out, so that was great.
Okay, awesome. Well, here's what I need to do. After the show, I need to send you a link to connect to the Discord, because I got about 30 inventors in there, and all of them are always asking, where can I get something molded and injected here in the United States? We know it happens, but it's like Bigfoot. We can't ever capture it, right? So If you would be willing to share that resource, that would mean a ton to me.
Oh, sure. That'd be great.
Okay.
I have no problem doing that.
Awesome. All right. So now after you professionally 3D printed, it seemed to work right, and that gave you the confidence to go forward with the mold. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we have our first mold, and we're still using it, an aluminum, they call it a test mold.
Oh.
And we've printed now about 6,000 units.
Okay. How many shots can you get out of your aluminum mold, you think?
hopefully 10 to 20. They say, and what he's telling me, Chris, I can't give you a hard number. He goes, we'll know it when we start molding it. If they start coming out deformed, he goes, that's when it's done. He goes, it'll start off as small flaws here or there first, and it will probably just continually to get worse.
I see.
So I'm hoping it lasts a while, because the steel mold, a double mold, is what we'll probably do next. And that's quite a bit more money.
Would you share how much your aluminum mold costs? I'm so curious about that.
Sure. I don't have the exact number, but I think it was around $10,000.
Okay. And was that made in the USA?
Yes.
Okay. Then that's a fair price. What I've run into a lot of injection molders here in the States will do is they'll source the mold from China or say Korea and then just charge their US client for that mold. And you don't know what upcharge they're putting on it. It sounds like your guys made it in-house, and that's really neat.
Yeah. I know they made it in-house, and that's all they do is mold. Like I said, they mold mostly for the mining industry, so they're very busy.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, super cool. All right, so you got it molded, and then tell me about production. How confident were you? How much were you willing to invest? And I guess to put a point on that question, once the mold was ready, how'd you decide how many units to make?
Me and my wife looked at each other and said, what do you think? So the first number we came up with, it was 2,000. And we said, okay, we'll shoot 2,000. And plus that made it worth it for the molder. He doesn't want to shoot. He did a test mold and shot us like 4. Mm-hmm. Very nice of him to have us come back down and look at it and okay it. And then he says, okay, he gave us different pricing, different level pricing. And we picked out the 2,000. He had prices for 10,000, 20,000. I think 2,000 wasn't the lowest, but it was like the second to the lowest.
Okay.
And we're willing to pay a little more for each mold to see if we could just get rid of 2,000, which we have.
Great. And then I have my Happy Toilet Cleaner with me. The only other part in there, apart from the instructions, which were very helpful, thank you, I installed it and then uninstalled it, right? So that goes to show you how easy it is. Where does this come from? That's my question.
I source that out just over the internet.
Okay. Cool.
I sell with my store, and they require everything to be American. And so that's an American-made hose. I can't remember the manufacturer's name right now, but it's all American-sourced products. Okay,
very cool. All right, so you got a great product. You got it molded, which, by the way, the finish on this is just amazing. At first, I was curious, did they 3D print or not? And as soon as I put my hands on it, I was like, wow, a mold makes all the difference. And you even have your logo stamped in the bottom here, made in USA, patent pending. This is really neat. So all that, and you include a little toilet bowl cleaner, right?
A little toilet bowl cleaner and a clip as well.
So you guys, I'm jumping ahead to fulfillment, but I'm assuming you guys kit all this stuff, put it in a nice USPS envelope and ship it out. Does that happen from your garage or what?
Well, I'm actually in my dining room, and this is the office and assembly area. So we haven't moved out of this
engineering,
yet. Yes. Yeah. We have a couple thousand, 3,000 or 4,000 square foot warehouse running the plumbing business. So actually, I like this. This is all very controllable, and there's no cost, so it's great.
Yeah, you're telling me. I feel the same way. A lot of inventors have this instinct to go way overboard with infrastructure. Remember, if you can do it out of your house, do it out of your house. I mean, you see me, I'm in my office right now. This is a glorified garage with an air conditioner. That's all it is, and that's all you need.
The commute's real good, too.
Sure is. Although sometimes it's hard to get motivated sitting around at home all day, I'll be honest. The couch is too close.
Yeah.
All right. So where were we? That we jumped ahead to fulfillment. But I want to go back to how are sales? No. How did your sales start? You burnt through your 20 friends. Once you burn through friends and family, those dry up real quick, don't they?
Yeah, so we started advertising on the internet some with a small marketing company, and sales were trickling. It's not we never have gone viral yet. The only thing we've gone viral on is Linda actually went and did a TV show locally here, and we also did a big home show, and both of those sales were really good. Nothing on the internet has gone viral, but we've had some good solid growth, but at a product that's only $24 retail price, it takes a lot of them to pay for the marketing.
Yes, it does. Yeah. You basically want to allocate 25% of your cost to marketing anyway. So it's not unfeasible. It's just the problem is finding consistent marketing, right? You had a one-off TV show that did great. Well, that's great for that week. But what about the rest of the month?
It's short-lived, that's for sure.
Very short-lived. And I found a lot of those avenues. It started from the beginning when I ran a Kickstarter. Hey, give us $500 and we'll put you in all these magazines and all these websites and all these publications. My new rule of thumb is if you haven't heard of it, if you don't watch it yourself, don't pay for it because very few people are probably watching it. A good example, going on a tangent here, and this is a personal story, but in my past life, my friends and I made an independent film, and we were looking to sell it to a distributor. And this one distributor hits us up. They say, give us, the rights to sell it. We're going to put it on, when you turn on your Roku TV or your Samsung, you got all these whack-ass channels that you don't really know about, these networks you don't understand. They said, yeah, we're going to publish it on a lot of those. You're going to get a lot of traffic. Again, if it's not something you watch, if these aren't applications you typically click on, you can bet that no one else is clicking on them. And I can tell you for a fact that no one is watching those channels, and we made no money off of that film because it wasn't something that people log into. People log into YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Google, Facebook. I'm probably missing a few others. Those are your keystone ones. Yes, TV can happen, but these one-off shows, it's kind of a shooting from the hip, and it's not consistent. So that's my tangent that I was thinking about today while I was brushing my teeth about consistent marketing versus one-offs. So have you guys found any consistent marketing?
I can't say yes. The marketing team we're with now does a really good job, and we've really gotten out there, but I didn't know anything about the marketing of a product. We did a lot of marketing with our plumbing company, but this is completely different. And so we're learning along the way. We've made some mistakes. And we just recently went and filmed on Kevin Harrington has a new show coming out, and we got to film on that. And that went really well. Hopefully we get something with that. But like you said, that might just be another one-off where you get a bump. So we are definitely looking for a way to market this because we know people like it once they have it. Is how do you get it in front of them, and how do you make that sell?
Talk to me about the cost of getting on these publications, or maybe they're publications. The local show, for example, was that grace on their part, or was this a publication?
It's a paid. I think that was a couple $1,000, and in the end, we probably sold enough that we made about $1,000.
Okay.
So it really does eat up. But we were just at a home show yesterday, and we had a couple people come up, and they said, we saw you on the show, the TV show, and they bought from us there at that show. So you do layering, but and it's so hard to track everything.
Yes.
That's the other part. You don't know where your sales are coming from most of the time.
Yeah. There's no such thing as bad marketing. There is expensive marketing. There is marketing that's a financial loss in the beginning, but can lead somewhere. You just have to have a lot of faith. And so what I preach to our inventors who, maybe they're not in their retirement years, maybe they haven't sold a business, and they have to really hang on to every single penny. Be sure that for every buck you put in, you're going to get $3 or $4 out of it. And you guys will. You have the luxury of time to get that. As you said, you'll be recognized for your placements, and you got experience too. I mean, that is invaluable. Linda going on that show and talking about the product, you gain so much poise, confidence, the list goes on and on. But for our young inventors, definitely know where your investment is going. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you guys, what is your social media presence like?
Linda, I'm going to call my wife in on that
Honey.
one. That's right. Social media presence.
Come on in, Linda.
No, come on in. She wants to see you. Come on. I have her working right now.
Oh, so, boy. Well, she's the TV
She has
star.
her own business on the side as well as helping me with this one.
Oh, goodness.
Come on, Linda. How's that social media working? And what are we doing?
It's doing really good.
Good.
We found a company called Billo, Billo, that you could put out requests for videos, and it was really quick. So we got like 6 cool videos, and you put out what kind you want, what do you want them to show, and things like that. So we've been using that. And then you own the videos and everything, but you really find some really fun people to put together a video for this. So, but we're on all platforms. Our Facebook is what we've really been pushing, and we've got over 25,000 people on that, followers. So that's really good. And our reviews are really starting to build up. So that helps. We've been on also Instagram and a little bit on TikTok.
And Lexi, our marketing, has done really well at getting that social media out there.
Yeah. She's our marketing agency really started all that for me, and that's helped. We just got an Amazon this week. We finally got our brand registry done. That was a little bit of a lot of work, but we got that done. So
Great.
hopefully all the things will work together,
Yeah, and they will. Let me ask you this. With all these good things happening, how many units are you selling a day on average?
Right now,
Dollar-wise, probably about 4 to 8. So it's not a whole lot. We have spikes, 4 to 8 units. Yeah.
Oh, 4 to 8 units. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to call you guys out, Linda. You're being too polished. You say you have a good marketing company and social media presence is great. 4 units a day at $24. Right?
Yeah.
And there's two you guys working here. So what's the truth? What's the problem?
Well, yeah. So the problem is we're trying some other avenues right now.
No, the problem is we didn't watch your video first.
There it is.
Figure out how to do a few things.
That is it.
We watched that and we said, we should be trying this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, we've never done, in the plumbing industry, we had it down pretty good. We had a great closing rate with the guys. The phone would ring. Our spend was anywhere from 10 to say 15% on marketing for service plumbing. That's really good. This is a whole new animal for us to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So some of that we tried to do the same way and said, ooh, this isn't really working the way we wanted it to for the same return.
I will say, though, part of the problem was, I just put my hands up and let an agency really take control and tell us what needed to be done.
Sure.
And I look back and I should have really been more involved and halted some of those things.
Yeah, but we didn't know.
But I had a gut feeling. I just had a gut feeling. And with a product being not a service, I just felt like somebody else would know better. But I think business owners end up realizing they got to go with their heart and their gut. And I should have done that 4 or 5 months ago, but we're on track now. We found another agency that we're going to do a 90-day test with on social media and see how that goes. And I really feel very, very comfortable with that because what their plan really is to demonstrate the product. And I believe this product is going to do really well with the right videos and the right demonstration, which we really hadn't been doing.
Great. Well, if I can just give you a metric for them going forward, and you don't need to write this down, you can listen back, but by the end of it, I would expect them to have you guys 3 to 5 viral videos over 1 million views, on social media. This happens organically. Just it gets posted. It's so good. It gets 1 million views naturally.
Right.
And then I would expect them to run that as an ad on Facebook and Instagram. And I expect that ROAS, return on ad spend, to be 3.7 or better. Okay?
Yes.
And at the end of that 90 days, if it's a point under that, bye-bye, we can do this better ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely now into the short-term baby steps.
Well, look, this is all extra credit. I want to go back, Linda. You were shaming yourself for giving away responsibility. You guys are doing great. You didn't try to license this. You didn't fall into buy a $5,000 course and learn how to try to pitch this to big companies, because that stuff, I've not run into a case where that works. You guys are grinding. You're doing the work. You're finding it out. And for every one mistake you made, I made 6 more. I promise you. So keep up the good work. And with that, Linda, I'll let you step aside if you so
make some
choose.
money.
Yeah, I got to go do my other job. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks, Linda. Okay, cool. So are there any new products in your wheelhouse, Chris? In this same industry, in the same niche. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of the tablets on the market are just not very good. So at some point I would like to maybe look into doing tablets, but in between that, I have one in for patent right now that fits the Kohler canister flush valves. These are completely different. They've got a big round cylinder flush valve and a washer on the bottom. And so I designed it so it would fit in between there and the tablet would go in this cup.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in for patent pending on that right now. And we should probably hear something on that probably by, I don't know, mid next year sometime.
So you're in for patent pending. Explain to me what that means. How did you file?
I did file with an attorney.
Okay.
And I also helped with the first one and helped him write a lot of stuff and told him what it all did and all the stuff that was important about the unit itself. The second one, though, I was able to write most of it myself and then send it in. And I think he had that done in about 2 days.
Wow.
And sent it in for the patent. He did tell me, he goes, Chris, I see a problem. I said, what's that? And he says, well, you may not get a patent on this because your other one might be in front of it and it might void this.
Yeah.
And I said, well, wouldn't that be good? I said, because then that makes my patent, the other patent, my first one, stronger anyways, and it would also cover this. So I may have been paid for this for no reason. That's what he thought. He goes, I think it will cover it. And I said, well, I think it's different. So we'll see what happens with that.
Well, good on him for being honest with you, because what he was proposing was him not filing something for you. I've been in the same position. I invented the Torque Strap Pro, which is just slightly different than the standard torque straps, a little bit different of a mechanical operation. And yeah, my patent attorney said the same thing. He said, you're kind of doing a little dance with yourself. You're kind of having an imaginary boxing match with yourself right now.
Yeah.
You're probably okay. And I said, we're doing good. What's another $9,000? Just file the damn thing.
The probably, that's a tough word. You're probably okay. Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
No, look, I've talked to inventors who have upwards of 9 patents. I do not recommend that. I have not run into a case where my patent has come in handy other than fluffing me up a little bit. But it's not like we've had a conversation with Home Depot and then they've been so dependent on the patent. It's always price. No one gives a crap about IP. It always comes down to how many can you get here and at what price.
Well, I think, and Linda's cousin's an attorney. He goes, all a patent really does is let you go sit at the table to sue each other. If someone tries to infringe on your patent, you have the right to go sit at the table and argue with them and pay an attorney to fight for you.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't make you feel nice, warm and fuzzy inside, but it is something. At least you get to the table.
I love that. You get you to the table. I would liken it to buying a boat or an RV. You find that you may not even ever really use the damn thing, but you still got to winterize it. You still got to clean it. You still got to pay for it, and you still got to upkeep it.
Yeah, ongoing fees for it. You got to keep paying for it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. Okay, so it's Thursday, 11:30 in the morning over there in Arizona. What do you and Linda do today? What do you work on? What's an inventor like you? How you keep yourself busy today?
Well, like I said, Linda has her own company. She's a advisor to other companies and helps them with their books and finances and stuff. I usually get to work on a list that she puts together for me around the house because I am retired. I'm always tinkering with stuff, though. I love doing that and fixing stuff. And I'm also getting ready for a back surgery tomorrow. So
good luck.
Nothing too exciting really about making something new, but it always comes up.
Yeah, that's great. Well, look, I want to take a few minutes to hype up your product because it's really good. The only weakness I see is, candidly, it didn't fit with my toilet. What's the rate of non-fitters that you run into, would you say?
So we fit about 20% of the toilets on the market. Oh, I mean 80%.
Okay,
20% we don't fit.
Right.
80%. So if it's a gravity flush toilet, because you have pressure tank toilets and a couple other types, or pressure toilets, but if it has the gravity flush, it has that overflow tube, it'll work on it as long as the unit itself has room to fit around there. Like we had a customer the other day, and he had what's called a Mansfield flush valve in his toilet, and that's a brand of toilet. And it doesn't fit on those at all. And he had one that it did fit, and he loved it so much. He goes, "What can I do?" And I said, "Well, you need to buy a new toilet, or you can just change out that flush valve." He goes, "Oh, I'm going to change out the flush valve." So he liked it enough to actually do a little bit of work on his toilet so he could get this installed. So we fit about 80%. We don't fit the Kohler right now, which Kohler has about at least 10 to 15% of the market now with their canister flush. So after we get that, we'll fit about 90 to 95% of the market, as close as I can tell.
Yeah. I would say that would be your main homework, is just figure out how you can fit above 90. I think that'd be huge for you guys. And I think it's so important because you guys are really sitting on a gold mine. You have a $24.99 product that solves an immense issue. We all know it. I don't have to explain it to you, but we just moved into a rental house. Me and my wife have been fighting like dogs and cats over these stupid squarish European toilets, and she resolved to buying the tablets, and they don't work because they just puke out in the bottom of that tank. They don't disperse evenly, and then now I'm learning they're rupturing the plumbing, which I do not want to wake up to that issue at night. But look, you guys have something so killer, and the cool thing about $24.99 is it is a brainless purchase. It's a midnight scroll, drunk buy-in type of Amazon or e-commerce product. I really think, I know that with a decent plan, you guys can easily move 30 to 50 units a day within the next couple months if you really work at it, if you're really hard on that marketing company. And man, when you get into retail, which I don't condone retail for a long time, they're going to basically try to buy this from you guys for less than you're even making it for, so you have to make a ton of adjustments before you're ready for retail. But damn, you guys can be selling $8,000 of these a day. No problem. It is such a no-brainer.
Yeah. And, I've done some research on the market and stuff, and there's like 300 million toilets in the U.S., almost a toilet for every person. And nobody likes cleaning a toilet. So I understand what you're saying. And I think there's more room for the tablets to get better. Like one of the complaints you get a lot is about the hard water staying around there. And there is a product out there that's supposed to take care of that. You're supposed to be able to throw it in and it'll keep it clean for 10 years. That's pretty much a scam. I cut that one open and saw what was inside of it. And that's really a scam. And when you go on there, I don't want to say the name, but when you go on there, like to Reddit or something and read the reviews, they're either 1 stars or 5s. And the 5s these people are pissed.
Yeah.
They can't get their money back. They're everything else. They're fighting with the company. Yeah. So there's something wrong, and there is something wrong with it. It just doesn't work.
Well, then you guys have pretty much, you have no competition. Your only hurdle is educating people, letting them know it's here. It's not a matter of price. There's no barrier to entry. It's just educate. And that's where those 5 viral videos become so important. And I'm gonna hold your guys' company accountable for those. Because if they can't make it, you guys can with the proper coaching. And running ads profitably, like I said, a 3.7 ROAS, but man, you guys could definitely run ads that are getting 5, 6 ROAS, which would be incredible for you guys. You basically put $1 in this end of the machine, and on the other end of the machine, you get $6. And
yeah, that'd be great. I can't imagine.
that's what you're looking at. To share some numbers with you, and it's not all magic and fairy tales. I'll go into my experience with ads, just so you guys kind of know what you're getting into. I posted a lot on social media. And when you post a lot, somehow or another, you're going to go viral. And I've probably gone viral umpteen times. We have, I don't know how many 100 million views when you aggregate it all. So I took, let's say, the top 3 viral videos back in early 2024, and we started running them as ads. And they were doing incredibly well. We were getting a 4 ROAS, 5 ROAS, very low cost. And I just said, okay, cool. I had Sergio, who's in the Discord, and you can talk to him. He was running the ads, and he was very impressed. He was like, you're the most profitable company I've seen run ads. Fast forward to a month ago, and I'm noticing like, man, our sales just they're kind of boring. They're kind of flatlining. I think we were selling like $3,000 a day or $4,000 a day, and that wasn't really cutting it. And I hadn't even thought to talk to Sergio, and he goes, okay, let me check. And he goes, yeah, sure enough, I think your ads are kind of done. They're kind of saturated. People have seen them. They're sick of them. We need to bring in a new suite of ads. And I'm like, well, why didn't you say something? He says, well, you're still doing better than 70% of my customers. So I was like, what the hell? And you didn't say anything. I'm like, well, damn it. So now we stay on top of them every week. We say, how are the ads doing? Do we need to shoot more? Do we need to test more? Do we need to try more? And the answer is always, yeah, you definitely should. You definitely could. It doesn't hurt. And so slowly, Dan and Sergio have been working together, bringing in a new suite of videos that had gone viral, running them as ads. Sometimes we have to tweak them because sometimes a viral video doesn't sell your product. Yes. For example, the other day, we haven't posted this yet, but I guarantee it'll go viral. And I challenge anybody listening to go check this. Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter. I shot a video where I'm pulling on a bungee cord and it snaps. And then I turn the camera around to reveal a hook going through my safety glasses. And it's one of those wow type of moments. He almost lost his eye. That will go viral. However, that doesn't sell the torque strap. So after that goes viral, we will have proven that that is a really good hook, right? A beginning of a video. We'll use that hook, and on the end of it, we'll throw in a little footage of somebody pulling the torque strap and safely releasing it, and the thumbs up, whatever we do. That's a great way to have fun, go viral, and then later turn them into ads. Because you and I were joking. You kind of wanted to take a raunchy approach. And what did you want to call it? The shitter getter, or what was it?
Yeah, the shitter getter. My wife said, "No way, we're not calling it that." But it's funny.
It's funny. It would just try it 10 different ways. I'm talking about myself a lot this episode. I don't like doing that, but I have a lot to say. The other day, I went to Home Depot. You know what I did, Chris? My plan was to have torque straps in the truck, sit in the parking lot, and whenever I saw someone struggling with a ratchet strap, I was mic'd up, and I kind of had the hidden camera vantage. I had a total stealth van set up, if you will, and I was going to go up to people and help them and get kind of a candid camera reaction. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, cool. Where can I get more? I chickened out completely. I walked up to this guy. I pretended to scratch my knee. I was looking at birds. I'm whistling. I couldn't get the gumption to talk to him. I don't even know why. I'm still trying to figure that out. But the funniest part of that story is I posted the video anyway. And I just posted a video of me awkwardly chickening out. Because there's no harm in posting bad videos. Either no one's going to see them, or a lot of people are going to see it, and there's some hidden magic about that video you don't even know. Now, in this case, no one watched it, so I don't care. And move on to the next one, and I'm a little bit closer, and I got a little bit more editing experience. I have a little bit more confidence. So post. All right, Chris.
Yeah, I think our product, there's a lot of humor around toilets and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, toilet humor. Come on.
That can make it a lot of fun.
Yeah. We were talking about comparisons, and, a lot of people want to protect their brand. They're very proud of what they've built, and they should be. But remember, there was an Old Spice commercial. Old Spice is really edgy. And the whole premise of the commercial was a body wash for cleaning balls. And it was an innuendo. They were holding up bags of sports balls. And at the end, some jamoke says, "Will it clean my ball sack?" And so we have to remember, people are used to hearing this kind of garbage. People are used to the shock marketing. They can handle it. They're grown-ups, not a big deal. And it can be a lot of fun and very effective.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff we can do with the toilets and the toilet market and have fun and actually be where people might be tuning in to see what our next commercial is.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's a full-time job. You guys have a third-party marketing company right now. Hopefully they can get the ball rolling with that. As you build more revenue, what I would recommend is one really dedicated social media manager to work for you guys full-time. That's what I have in Dan. I train Dan to shoot the way I shoot, edit the way I edit, observe social media the way I do. We have extensive meetings, and it's not harsh meetings. It's just we're having fun. Did you see that viral video?
Yeah.
Why did that go viral? You know, we're just shooting the breeze. But that's his job all day long. He's just thinking about what should we shoot
Is Dan
next.
happy with the weather where you live?
Well, I live in Miami. He lives in.
Very humid there.
It's
Oh,
terrible.
where does he live?
He lives in L.A. He lives in
I was
Venice
just going
Beach.
to say, hey, Arizona weather's pretty nice out here, Dan.
Yeah. No, he's very happy. He's next to the water, buddy. So you're not going to beat that. And so Dan has really had a lot of fun with that, and I'm having fun with that. It's now I'm in a position where I can go shoot a video in the driveway, send him the footage, and then I can go to the gym and do whatever. And he starts plugging away. He edits it. He figures out the hashtags, the captions. Then after he posts it, he engages the audience and talks in the comments and observes and reports. And it's I would recommend that for you guys as stage 2 of your marketing. And that would be a great way to get away from third-party fees, which are kind of hard to really nail down what your return is and get that tender love and care. Find that one whiz, somebody, computer savvy, tech savvy, social media savvy. Just say, hey, if we paid you, you're in Arizona, if we paid you $60,000 a year, would you make this your heart and soul? And I guarantee you will have plenty of very smart people happy to do that job for you.
Yeah.
Are there
And
any?
I also think that you don't have to be perfect when you're filming this stuff. And I've been watching a lot of ads, and by ads I mean seeing on YouTube and stuff, and the different little shorts. The ones that aren't perfect are probably the best.
Yeah, definitely. There are no right angles in nature, right? It's a fancy way of saying be natural. Just have flaws. That's what people recognize. When you pop up and you're wearing a polo and you have a microphone strapped to your chest and your hair is slicked back, no, swipe away. And I don't want to hear your weird infomercial. But when you lift a lid and there's a giant butt explosion underneath the seat, okay, I'll stick around for 10 seconds to see what this is about.
Yeah.
Because I've done that. All right. Are there any burning questions or hurdles that you and Linda are facing right now besides what we've spoken about?
No. Well, you could just encourage us so that we don't give up. Things get hard once in a while, and for someone to say, like you saying, you think this is really a great product, that makes me feel good. And we truly believe it is as well with all the feedback that we get. We just need something to go viral, and we need to start producing it and giving it a shot. And so I've never been the person to do that type of stuff, but I'm a lot of fun to be around. I just don't like being filmed, but I'm going to get over that, just like you scratching your knee in the parking lot. I'll get over it, and I will start making some films. And I'm going to make sure I tell Linda, she is a very perfect person. She likes everything just so. And I said, Linda, it can't be perfect. We just got to have fun, shoot it, and send it out. And like you said, if no one watches it, fine. But who knows? Someone might just, like you said, have 1 million viewers. And out of that 1 million, maybe you get 50,000 people to buy the product. That would just be unbelievable.
Well, let me give you an example of how simple it can be. There's a couple examples. When Mike Pence was debating whoever they were running against back in 2016 or 2020, a fly landed on Mike Pence's hair, and the fly stole the show. The fly made that debate such a viral moment, right? No one remembers one word said in that debate. But because of this fly, this debate got tons and tons of publicity. Sometime I saw one influencer who was advertising a tooth cleaning device. I don't remember what it was, floss or something. But she's just very personal, talking to camera, selfie style. But once again, there's a fly on her nose the whole video. The video had 22 million views because of this fly on her nose that she didn't know about. She just got in front of that, her cleaning device, which she was 100% advertising. She got that in front of 22 million people because of an incident. It can be that.
Well,
it can be
great
that
for
simple.
her to go ahead and post that instead of saying, "Oh, we got to reshoot."
Exactly.
That is genius.
I can guarantee you. Well, there's a good saying out there: 98% of viral videos are still sitting inside people's pockets because they never posted it.
Wow.
And for you, Chris, being funny and creative, you got a lot that are still sitting in the brain. You don't know it yet. They're viral, and you're not going to know till they post.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to, maybe I'll send you a couple and just see what you think.
Well, that's what the Discord's for. So when you get connected, you can maybe just post it on YouTube, maybe make it private or public. You should just make it public, or Instagram, whatever you guys are on. But you can give us that link in Discord, and we'll all tell you, oh, that worked because of this. Oh, it didn't work because of that. Or I would have loved if there wasn't a logo in it, because that seemed a little too salesy. You know what I mean? So that's a really cool thing we're doing in the Discord. We have a whole channel dedicated to rate my video. And man, I have learned a ton from that. From
Wow.
people I was coaching 3 months ago, they're now teaching me tricks and trades to have more success. So
Did you hear that? Get on the Discord.
you
Ask her about that Pantheon or whatever you.
Yeah, I asked her to sign up on the Pantheon, right?
Mhm.
And so I don't know if she's done that yet. She's probably had some questions about it.
don't worry. You guys are guests now, so you get in for free. So I'll send you a link and you're in.
We got it now, Linda.
All
Okay,
right.
great.
Well, and the one other thing you said was, hype or confidence about the product. I told you, and I mean it, you guys can be selling, I think in a short amount of time, you can be selling $2,000 a day. E-commerce wise, you guys probably won't hit your ceiling until you're selling between $7,000 and $10,000 a day. And that's when you might saturate the U.S. e-commerce market. And it doesn't end there. That just means that now you have so much power and leverage. So when the distributors at Lowe's, the buyers at Home Depot, when they start hitting you up, you say, just send us your best offer and we'll get back to you. That's the position you want to be in, okay?
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys are going to have a very comfortable retirement. Stick with it. Don't put too much faith in vendors or other people's hands unless they're your employee whom you control. And, man, what a cool product. I congratulate you guys. Really neat.
Well, thank you so much. And if you don't mind, would I be able to ever call you in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah. You have my email. Just give me a ring-a-ding. The Discord is cool because we can actually do voice conversations in Discord, and maybe it can be private or we can do a little group talk like, hey, I want to talk to you, Grant. And I'll say, cool. How about 3:00 tomorrow? You and me talk about marketing, and anybody else who wants to jump in and help out, we can all get together on that, or just call me one-on-one. Doesn't matter. I'm always happy to talk.
All right, great. That's great.
All right, cool. Well, I will let you guys hang up, and I will wrap up the show.
All right, Grant. Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, thank you guys. Take care, and see you later.
See you, bud.
All right, guys, there you have it. That was episode 48 of the Invent With Me podcast. What a cool product and a cool husband and wife combo. They're going to kill it. I just know it. They just need to take a little bit more responsibility for their marketing. And man, what an incredible invention. Thanks, guys. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. If you're listening, follow the show on whatever platform you may be on. Remember, we took the punches so that you don't have to.